Yes people, and welcome to Visions in Tokyo with me, Johnny Dobb. If you're new here, then it's very nice to see you. Thank you for checking out the channel. And for those of you who followed me for a while, I apologise, it's been a minute since I posted my last video, but I'm back and I have a great video today. Now, if you'd have asked me if I could have any 35mm camera, what would it be? The answer is simple. It would be this guy. This is the Fujifilm TX1. Now, some of you may know this camera and some of you may know it under another name, which is the Hasselblad X-Pan. It was actually made in partnership with Fujifilm and X-Pan. Fujifilm actually built the camera, so it's a Fuji lenses, and they basically manufactured the whole thing. And it was released worldwide as the X-Pan, but in Japan it was released as the Fujifilm TX1, but they're essentially identical cameras. The only difference is Fujifilm didn't paint the body. This is the titanium body, whereas Hasselblad, they did paint theirs, and unfortunately the paint doesn't stick too well to the titanium, so it often chipped off. Well, it always chipped off basically. But anyway, this is the camera of my dreams. And what's so special about this camera, I hear you ask, if you don't already know? Well, it actually shoots panoramic aspect ratio on 35mm film. So most 35mm film shoots 24:35. This shoots 24:65, so it gives you a long panoramic field of view. And what's great about it is it's essentially a medium format 35mm camera, because that's basically what you're getting with medium format, but it's kind of cropped down to 35mm. And there is no other camera in the world, to my knowledge, that does what this camera can do and functions as well as it does. It's so well made for shooting this kind of panoramics, and the images it creates are just stunning. So what's really good about this is you can actually choose to shoot 35mm or you can shoot panoramic. And if I open up the back here, hopefully you'll be able to see this. So you have this sort of adjustable plate. There's a button here, and if I turn this, you might be able to see. Oh, it's a bit tricky doing it backwards, but you'll see some little doors like sliding in and out, and that basically is what crops the visible area of the film. So yeah, you can basically choose to shoot it panoramic or shoot it in 35mm, and you can switch and change as you're actually going along. But I don't know people who buy this camera to shoot in 35. I mean, it's made for panoramic, so that's what you're going to shoot it with. But yeah, anyway, this is the Fujifilm TX1. So I'm not going to go into all the details on it, and there's plenty of places you can look into it. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take it out to Shinjuku and put a couple of rolls of film through it. So I'm going to be shooting HP5, Ilford HP5. I'm also going to be developing it myself in some Kodak D76, and also doing all the scans myself. This is one of the reasons I've not done videos in a while. I've been getting more into film photography, the development, the scanning, all that kind of stuff. I'm getting my head around it all. So yeah, without further ado, yeah, let's go shoot. So I'm going to head up here to get a good view over the train tracks, which should make for quite a nice panoramic shot. I guess we'll see when we get to the top of the stairs. It's pretty windy today and a bit overcast, but it's light enough. And I'm shooting this at box speed. I was going to push it to 800, but I decided against it just because of the limitations of this camera. I mean, the fastest it'll do is 1/1000th of a second, and it is, although it's overcast, it is pretty bright. So I think if I was going to push the film, I might need like an ND filter or something, which I've not quite got. But anyway, let's head over here. Okay, so we're just flying up these stairs here just to kill a bit of time with the video. And as I got to the top of the stairs, I noticed this really nice curved seating area, and this couple of ladies sat there and the guy in the distance. So I thought I'd grab a quick capture of that. And unfortunately, because I'm new to the camera, my finger was still in the bottom right of the screen, but not to worry. It just takes a bit getting used to, doesn't it? And I quite like how the bird was caught mid-flight there as well. And yeah, this is the viewing area that I've shot quite a few from, and as I was walking up to try and get central to it, I noticed these two trains coming from the right, so I quickly hopped up and grabbed a quick capture of those. I wish I'd have been there 3 seconds earlier because I would have got the front of all 3 trains and it would have just been slightly nicer composition, but I really like that shot. And here's another bit of a landscape sort of city skyline shot from this bridge that's next to the train station. I've shot here a few times but never with a panoramic lens, so I was really keen to see how this turned out. I love the rendering of this lens, it's fantastic. Now here I wasn't even planning on taking a shot, I was just waiting to cross the road and I was noticing how the cars were being framed by this couple in front of me. And then I saw this yellow taxi, so I waited to get it mid-shot. And when I saw the roll, I wasn't too happy the black taxi crossed in front, but in hindsight I really like it. And I really like how the arrow points down to the guy on the right's head. Now here I was walking down this little alleyway, which again I've shot in before, and I noticed this guy coming out the building and saw the light was perfectly on his face. Luckily he stood there for literally, he was gone a second later, but this is, you know, my favourite shot of this roll. I love how the light hits his face and you can see the detail that this lens can render. And again, just a little bit further down this alleyway, a guy doing some cooking. I like the smoke, I like the fire. So I was just waiting to frame in. I was hoping to get some of those nice flickering flames, but unfortunately when I took this shot, the flames had died down and there wasn't really any smoke. But it's still pretty cool. And here I saw this lady getting out of a taxi and noticed she kept kind of glancing through the gap in the window. So I was just waiting to see if I could kind of get her looking through that. And she'd looked at the camera just a split second before I took the photo. So yeah, it's okay that one. It would have been nice if they were maybe looking up at me, but they weren't. And here, again, just another really popular spot for taking photos in this area of Shinjuku. I was just waiting for the traffic to come down this lane that's closest to me, and here came a white taxi, so I quickly grabbed that one. Got the yellow taxi in the background. But yeah, I quite like that one. I think that the panoramic format lends itself well to this kind of image. And here I'm going to try one in portrait mode, because we've obviously got the Godzilla overlooking the tower. So I just saw a guy casually glancing up at it and thought, oh, that could be pretty interesting. And yeah, again, another one where you can see nice how the detail is of this camera. And here, I was walking into Kabukicho and I saw what can only be described as a two-headed bondage tiger outside of a sex shop. So I grabbed a quick capture of that. It would have been great if somebody was coming into that space there on the left-hand side to fill up that space. But I thought I'd keep this in because you can just see how sharp the lens is on this camera. And now I was deciding which way to go down this alleyway, and thought, oh, actually I'll just grab a photo of this line of scooters parked up here. Nothing too special, but you know. And again, my finger caught in the right hand corner again, so I still need to kind of get comfortable using this camera. Now I'm deep into Kabukicho now, and I saw the guy kind of stood outside the shop there and the girl walking across, so I thought, oh, I'll try and quickly get a capture of those. Yeah, and I quite like that one. I wish the framing had been slightly more to the left so that the two of them had kind of been equidistant from the edges of the frame. And here I saw this guy just chilling in front of this Bubbly Bubbles shop, this is the robot restaurant and it's sadly now closed, so I think it's now going to be Bubbly Bubbles. But again, really happy with this image, and this is the last one I've got from this first set. So I hope you enjoyed them so far. Okay, so that's the first roll done. Now I'm going to switch and shoot a second roll of HP5 again. And then yeah, hopefully I get some developer and head home, develop them tonight, and hopefully they all turn out really good. This camera's awesome to use. It has an incredibly beautiful viewfinder, really clear, with really clear frame lines. It's the best viewfinder I've ever used on a rangefinder type camera. And the camera itself just feels so good in the hand. I mean, it's built from titanium and aluminium, so it's basically a Terminator, built like a Terminator. It's just solid as a rock, and The shutter mechanism is really nice. The actual focus ring is smooth as anything. It's just a beautiful camera. I'm so blessed to actually finally manage to get hold of one. But anyway, with that said, I hope you're enjoying the photos so far. And yeah, I'm gonna go on, load up another roll and keep on shooting. Peace. Okay, so we're now on to the second roll of HP5, and I noticed this couple just sat in the corner of the window there, and thought it'd be quite interesting to try and get a nice shot of those. They've got the reflections behind them of the crossroads, and yeah, that's okay. I should have waited a split second longer so that the other couple who were coming around the corner had sort of filled up a bit more of that left-hand side. And now here I am down one of the little side streets of Golden Guy, and I just saw this guy sort of half leaning out this bar. So I thought it'd be quite interesting competition to have him over on the left, and then the actual alleyway taking up the rest of the frame there. So it's pretty cool. Now here again, I wasn't really planning on taking a photo of anything in particular, but I noticed this guy coming down to my left on a bike, and thought it'd be quite interesting trying to frame him somewhere in between those two sets of shutters. I quite like the texture that they have. It's quite interesting. And now this is one of the temples that's right next to Golden Guy. And the last of the kind of blossoms were in that tree there, so I thought I'd try and capture an image of that, the temple. I quite like the composition of that one. Yeah, it's pretty cool, I'm happy with that. And then here I saw this lady sat down on her own, and I waited for a second, and again I've got the blossom in the foreground, which I quite like. And that's the image that I got, but I just wish I'd have waited a little bit longer until the other lady had sort of left the frame. But the thing is, you never know, you can wait, and then she could have got up and moved, so you know, that would have been the end of that. Now here, this is where people throw a coin in and make a little prayer, and I saw the two women were there, and I just hoped that I'd have caught them bowing at the same time. But again, yeah, that's the fun thing about street photography, is, you know, a split second can make a world of difference. So now I'm just leaving the temple, and there's these lanterns that kind of light up the way towards the main street, and I saw this woman walking down towards me, so I thought I'd frame her kind of in between one of the lanterns and a tree. And then I didn't realise it until I looked back at the photo, but there's someone scrawled something on the wall there with the Star of David and a Nazi symbol, so I don't quite know what that's about, to be honest with you. I didn't notice it at the time. And here, I quite like this shot. You have a few nice elements working here. The guy waiting, you've got the leading lines moving in towards him, the guy who stood staring at the camera, and the car kind of lit up in that little pool of light. So this is kind of one of my favourite ones off this roll as well. I really like that one. And here, I just came across this very small protest. I wasn't quite sure what it was about, but I just thought I'd go and maybe capture a few photos, and I saw this person holding up this sign. Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Making videos, keeping them entertained, hopefully. And yeah, I thought I'd kind of go along with these guys for a bit, and then I saw this person in front of me who just kind of looked quite interesting, waiting to cross the road. So I grabbed a quick capture here. Again, which I quite like. Looks like they're trying to read the what's written on the sign. And again, just another one with this group here. I was trying to take a photo of the guy with the checkered shirt on, because the way he's got his mask right up to his face, but he kept turning his head, but I kind of got him looking at the camera. But it's okay. Nothing spectacular about that image. And here I was quite interested by the divergence of these two sort of pathways, so I was actually waiting for the signs to give me that kind of arrows. I just noticed them there, and then this woman came across with the umbrella, so it would have been nice to get her a split second before, so she was kind of not cluttering the centre of the frame. And again, unfortunately, my thumb or finger was in the bottom right, but it's cool. And here I was just kind of getting towards the end of the roll, and I saw this bit of graffiti on the wall.
So I thought I'd just kind of wait and see who comes past, and yeah, just a guy came past, grabbed that. Again, nothing spectacular, but again, really nice to see how the lens renders this film. And here, just, you know, kind of a frame within a frame with the, you know, the mini protest going past. I really like that shot. I really like how that came out, but I wish I'd have waited a split second later, because for maybe someone who's carrying with the banners to come across. But I only had one shot left, so I just, you know, I thought I'd see what else I could see. And as I was walking down this alleyway, I saw this really interesting air conditioning unit. So I thought I'd kind of just grab a little photo of that one to finish with. Okay, so that was Shinjuku with the awesome Fujifilm TX1, aka the Hasselblad X-Pan. Yeah, just 2 quick rolls. This, because it only shoots 20 shots, it's surprising how quick you can get through a roll on this. But yeah, such an incredible camera to use. If you ever get the chance to shoot with one, I'd highly advise giving it a go. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the shots and the video. Different style for me this time, just trying out new things and seeing where we can develop the channel and hopefully make some decent improvements for upcoming videos. But as always, leave a comment down below if you liked it, or if there's any shots that you particularly liked, any feedback or thoughts, you know, I really appreciate that. And drop us a subscribe if you've not already. It helps me grow the channel. And yeah, hopefully I'll be doing a lot more content using this camera, as well as some other cameras that I've picked up recently. Both analog and digital. So yeah, again, thanks for taking the time to check out Visions in Tokyo with me, your boy Johnny Dub, and until the next time, keep on shooting, yo.